What's going on, good people out there? It is us. It is the JayNAS crew of the JayNAS podcast. JayNAS, Jason 616, and myself, Naz G. We are back with another JayNAS podcast, and if I didn't tell you already, it is the JayNAS podcast for JayNAS, Jason, and Michael, me, Naz G. We are back. Anyway, so look, we are back with another awesome podcast. It's good to be back again. We are here to bring you the latest in PC, console, retro, and Nintendo news. As always, I'm joined by Jason 616, my good buddy, our local retro and Nintendo
joyfully
expert.
Joyfully
Joyson. Get over here, Joyson. He is our local expert. He is here to join me on the podcast again. Welcome back to the podcast, buddy.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
Yes, and as always, we've got the latest in gaming news that we want to share with the whole entire world, all two of yous. So, so we'll get everyone up to date so they're not missing out on any of the action, buddy. But tonight, very quickly, I want to go over something with No Man's Sky, one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. A little bit of sad news coming from GFinity eSports. Again, more sad news out of the whole Bioware camp as well. And something to do with Logitech launching probably the thinnest mechanical keyboard in history. And, of course, my honourable mentions, which I'll fly into that. And, of course, my little joke that I'm going to share at the end, buddy. But what have you... Which, by the way, the joke is just me. I'm the joke. I am the joke.
I am Batman. No, No, I've got some stuff in the Nintendo Switch /SNES camp. There might be some SNES coming to Switch. Or some possible potential news coming from there. As well as Activision are eager to revive more classics after the success of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, Insane trilogy. And some honourable mentions. And today in gaming. So that's on my list of things.
Excellent. Well,
it's pretty quiet on my front, to be fair.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It is quiet at the moment. I mean, it's not exactly busy. I mean, every now and then we'll get spurts of all these things happening at once. There'll be lots to cover and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, mate. Even though it's quiet out there, but we're pretty good at making it exciting for everybody. Well, we try anyway. So, but mate, if you're ready to go, let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right. Yeah. Cool, man. So turn those earlobes, switch those eardrums on. They are about to bleed. You're about to get all the latest in PC, console, retro, and Nintendo news. Let's do it. Alright, so as I mentioned before, so No Man's Sky, they have just released their Beyond update, which is supposed to make No Man's Sky the best conditions it's ever been. And of course, everyone knows the backstory a few podcasts later that it was one of the most biggest anticipated games of the year, end up being the most disappointing games of the year within probably a week. The amount of people that got refunds and all this sort of stuff and blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, the game wasn't exactly full of bugs, but it was just that people felt that Sean Murray lied to his audience and to his fans and all that sort of stuff. People got over the game within about 10 hours. All that sort of stuff. I enjoyed the game for the first 10 hours and just got too repetitive to the point where it was just so mind-numbingly boring. But look, it's starting to make a name for itself. All the updates, all that sort of stuff, all the third person, all the things that you can do, which is what you should have been able to do in the game within the first couple of months. Now they've released a update called Beyond, and basically No Man's Sky's Beyond update has launched, but it's also crashing. So players report crashing to desktop, a few broken features and issues with VR. So No Man's Sky Beyond launched today, bringing it with it VR support, 32-player multiplayer on PC and lots of other new features. I've gotten tired of summarising at the beginning of these articles. Unfortunately, Beyond also brought a few bugs and glitches with it. It's hardly a surprise that it's not everything is working immaculately with an update this big, but some of the issues are pretty serious. Players have especially been reporting a lot of crashes, most notably while entering the Nexus, the brand new player hub where astronauts can hang out, socialise and crew up for multiplayer missions. So look, it sounds like No Man's Sky has become a really, really awesome game, which is great, but it should have been like this in the first place. I mean, maybe like the multiplayer aspect, but it should have been, the game had so much potential and it should have been released basically the condition it is from the get go. I mean, all you could do is fly around from planet to planet and name it and mine stuff and sell it. So Sean Murray was always going about multiplayer this and joining groups and clans that and doing missions together that, and that you'll be on multiplayer. It's so scarce that you're lucky to run into another player. But when two guys did run into each other, they couldn't see each other. So it made people. It got to a point where people changed the name of No Man's Sky to No Man's Lie. So it was, and Sean Murray went rogue. He went AWOL. He went completely quiet. His Twitter went quiet. His Facebook went quiet. Everything went quiet. He wasn't answering anyone's questions and made people hate the game and hate Sean Murray and Hello Games. So it's good to see No Man's Sky has making a really good name for itself, because it definitely always had a lot of potential, but unlucky to see the bugs and all that sort of stuff. So it's something that Sean Murray doesn't need, but I'm sure if anyone can fix it, it'd be him. But yeah, man, that's my topic number 1, man.
All right, cool. Well, on my chain of things, interestingly enough, the Switch camp has confirmed a SNES controller.
Right.
Which is weird, because there's been no announcement of SNES games going to the Nintendo Switch yet, but a controller is confirmed. So, question is, it's only a matter of time until they go on, but are they actually going to be having SNES online multiplayer like they do with the NES online multiplayer when it comes to the Nintendo Switch? The SNES-style controller for the Nintendo Switch has been spotted, which hints that we could see SNES games added to Nintendo Switch online services sooner than we think. They've already released a NES-style Joy-Con controller for the Switch in support of the fact that the free NES games are released monthly as part of Nintendo Switch online subscription service, which, mind you, is fucking fantastic. Free NES games, and every month they add more games to that list, and you get it for free. And keep in mind, their online subscription service, $30 for the year. $30 for the year, and you get free NES games every month. And when they get added, you still keep the old ones. They don't disappear. Okay. So yeah, it's crazy. They're getting uploaded every month. There's more and more coming. Donkey Kong, Mario, 2-player Excite Bike, 2-player, you name it, it's there. Mario Brothers 3 as well. Good stuff. They're just loading that Switch up with things, as well as getting Tetris 99 for free when you go on the service. And they're now rolling out, what they did with Mario Tennis, where you can play the game for free for 7 days, and then get it at 33% off. They're doing it with Cadence of Hyrule now, where you can try that one out. So they're rolling out free games every month for 6 days as well. And it's not just demos, it's the full game. But anyway, I'm going off track. They are now doing it for SNES. It also helps as well, and this is my theory on the SNES online gaming happening. It's the fact that the Nintendo online service launched on September 18 last year, was when they could go on and use the NES subscriptions and play online. But when you think about it, we're midway through August. That's only a month away until those people that signed up for 12 months, their subscriptions will run out. So will they slam them and say, SNES is going online to the Switch? That way people will want to renew their subscriptions. Because damn, if SNES is online, boy would I ever play online with Super Nintendo. That would just be game changing. Because that was the console for me. I would buy a Switch just to play Super Nintendo online with people. I would just hands down just do it just for that. And if you just have a subscription, pay $30 a month to get SNES online. Sorry, $30 a year to get SNES online and play with your buddies. Oh, hell yeah. Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's just insane. But that's my topic. That's it. Will SNES games coming to Switch? Well, the rumor is the controller's been announced. It's coming. Let's just wait and see what games will come onto the Switch. And it's only a matter of time before they do.
Yeah, cool, man. All right, sounds good, buddy. All right, so I shall go on with my second topic, which is a bit sad. So be prepared to pull the tissues out. So it is a little bit of a shock as well, but I think there'll be some sort of comeback. I think it's a matter of like you basically how they've handled their revenue really. So with GFinity eSports Australia is shutting down apparently. So which like I said is really really sad news to hear. Only within a couple of years of it being launched, but I mean I know GFinity is not the only esport company in Australia. I believe there are a couple of others. They're smaller, but I believe there are a couple. GFinity was a bigger one. But look, it's a bit of a shock. They're just not making the money that they needed. I know that Australia's esport isn't as big as what most of North America and Europe is. I know we're a bit far down the tree with things like that, but I reckon it will bounce back. So in a shock announcement, GFinity eSports Australia has confirmed it will cease its operations in the country by the end of November, best known for its GFinity Elite Series, which hit Australia across two events in 2018 and 2019. GFinity has collaborated with Hoyt Cinemas chain in the launch of a dedicated esports arena in Sydney, but according to the statement issued, the local esports market has not developed to the level forecast when the company was launched in 2017. I mean, what do they consider forecast? I mean, what are they doing? I mean, I honestly don't know what they would have done wrong, to be honest. I mean, were the sponsorships hoping for the revenue to be as much, if not, well, close to as much as what happens in America? Not if it's not as big, So, I mean, take AFL, for example. I mean, it's our biggest game in Australia. It's Australia's game, but yet the average player gets paid about, barely, 5% of what a Premier League football player would get paid.
They're on insane money.
This is what I mean. A tennis player or something like that. If they're comparing a footy player to a Premier League football player, and they say, "Oh, look, we're not making enough money because we should be like Premier League." Well, you've got your ass up your bloody, you got your elbow up your ass or ass up your elbow. What do you want to call it?
It's like Neymar. He earns literally $176,000 a week. A week.
Yeah, exactly.
To kick a bit of leather around. I mean, what the fuck?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. I mean, they reckon that according to report Umbrella, the company reported a $5.3 million loss at the end of the financial year. So, I mean, to be honest, what I've heard is that they take the players only get about 30% of their sponsorship revenue, where the esports industry takes a majority of it. So even though they pay the player prize money if they win, but they take some of their sponsorships as well, and then they get their own sponsorships, and they get the revenue made from streaming it and all that sort of stuff, and crowds and all that sort of jazz. So it's basically I don't know what they're doing or what they've done, but to be honest, it's just as simple as someone somewhere along the line has just not been able to manage the revenue necessary to have it based and supportive, and like I said, it's a global thing. So why they couldn't reach out to other countries that are huge to help it maintain, so there's a healthy competition across the world to help it grow together. So I mean, honestly, in my opinion, someone's fucked up somewhere, and they think, oh well, it just won't work in Australia. I know Australia's behind in esports, but they're not far behind. I mean, it's only because we're a small country compared to, I mean, we're shitload bigger compared to a country like France, but France is part of Europe, so they include Europe as all one thing, So, things like that. So, very shocked. Everyone's a bit shocked. I can't wait to see. This is literally only came out like a day ago. I can't wait to see a bit more why and all that sort of stuff. I remember seeing Torsos, one of Australia's best Rocket League players, saying that this is crap, that basically saying it's crap, that we don't get paid as much as what players do in like North America and Europe, and it's simply because Australia's just not big on it yet, but we just need to get bigger. There's just not enough support, so it's just a matter of them trying to bring it out and making it all happen and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, man, we're just I'm going to keep my ears out to see what's actually going on with all the esports updates, see if if there's anything actually going to happen in Australia, if anything's going to launch in Australia, So, just hopefully that we get something covered. So, I mean, I'm not going to let it dent to my spirit, I mean, even though I've been a bit quiet on Rocket League the last couple of weeks, the fact, like I said, I would love to turn pro playing Rocket League. I highly doubt it would happen, but, now the fact that, that eSports, GFinity eSports in Australia, has sort of gone a bit of a downturn, it makes the chances of something like that happening even slimmer. But, you sort of got to set your sights on those little goals and try and overcome it. If something happens, then something happens. I'd say it's just literally just an esports thing, not like a competitive gaming thing. So I mean, like I said, I'm trying to find out. I would love to find out reasons why, whether it was just poor management or revenue management or something like that. But yeah, basically just have to wait and see what happens, man. But yeah, that is my second topic, buddy. So whenever you're ready, over to you.
Cool. Well, I'm going to continue on with my Switch SNES combo going on. Nintendo have come out with 12 possible games that they are rumoured to bring to the Switch Online come September. If all does go according to plan. I'm going to start off with ActRaisers, which I've never heard of. It's an overhead God mode with some side-on sword-swinging platform goodness, so kind of like your normal, typical side-scroller with swords. I've never heard of ActRaisers, so I can't comment on it. Maybe that's a good thing by bringing some unknown games back. Who knows? The cult classic, Super Mario World, had to be on that list. You can't imagine them coming out with SNES Online without having Mario World. It just seems the right thing to do. The unreleased Star Fox 2. Now, we know Star Fox was released. For us here in Australia, it was Star Wing. For some weird reason. We had Star Wing, then Lilac Wars. So both of our Star games didn't even have Star Fox in the bloody titles. But Star Fox 2 was never released until the Super Nintendo Mini came out. We never had an actual box art, never had anything. So, bringing Star Fox 2, nice. Super Metroid had to be there as well. You can't imagine them without Super Metroid. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, another one. A Link to the Past, Legend of Zelda, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time. Damn good beat-em-up game. Turtles in Time was insanely cool. A cartridge of that goes for $170 Australian here. They are rare. They're insanely rare. Super Bomberman, thank God. It's Super Bomberman, for God's sake. Street Fighter Alpha 2. Pilot Wings.
Oh, yes, Pilot Wings.
It's not a very good-looking game.
No.
But it's a good little flight sim game. It's one of the first flight sim games, I think. Fire Emblem as well, rounding up that. I was amazed not to see Donkey Kong Country on there, which was a real weird one for me. Earthbound would be nice to have a bit of Earthbound come up, because we didn't really get it here. That was mainly Japan. Chrono Trigger is another one. That was surprisingly left off there, and the Mana collection as well, the Secrets of Mana or whatnot. As well as some classic Mario titles like Super Mario Kart. Can you imagine that with an online 8-player?
That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
The original Mario Kart with an online 8-player? Hell yeah. Another one that was hugely missing off that list is Mega Man Anything and Castlevania Anything. But they can only do so much. That's just the originals, There's probably more to come. I can keep going on forever, I can keep naming games like F-Zero is not there. Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Lost Vikings, any Kirby's. There's so many, but like I said, you can only release so many. You can only release so many at a time. I mean, they're only talking about their first 10, so give them a break. Give them a break. There's so many SNES games to choose from, it's not funny. So, but anyway, that's my topic number 2, so hopefully we get to see some of them. That would be definitely awesome.
Definitely.
So back to you, man.
Alrighty, cool, excellent. Alright, so topic number 3 for me is, of course, a bit of sad news coming out of the Bioware camp is that basically Ben Irving is one of the lead mass producers of Anthem, and he's left Bioware. He's taken another job at another studio, but he says that the game has a bright future. So Ben Irving, the lead producer of Anthem, and the face of the game since long before its release in February, has announced he's leaving Bioware for a job at another developer. So his Twitter quoted, "After 8 amazing years at Bioware, I have made the decision to move on and have accepted an exciting opportunity at another game company since the first time I played Baldur's Gate many, many years ago. Bioware was the dream place I always wanted to work." So I will forever be grateful to all the people that have given me the chance to work on great products with amazing people. I believe Anthem has a bright future. There is a great team working on it, and I look forward to following its progress and playing it from the sidelines. So who knows why he's actually really left, to be honest. I mean, we know that Anthem has gotten a lot of scrutiny since its release, because it was a very small game that you could literally complete the main story within a few hours. And all the side quests were like buggy. There was very little reward, reward rate. They really only drip fed you the reward system, because even though this is what EA did, they said, EA has quoted, they have quoted saying that Anthem is their response to Destiny, the success of Destiny. So people will automatically compare it to Destiny, and Destiny's a 10 times better game than what Bioware was, because it's very satisfying. Have you ever played Destiny before, or Destiny 2?
No, I haven't, no.
So the reward system is just very, very satisfying. It's really awesome. It's quite unique, because there are dozens and dozens, well, that's an understatement. There are hundreds and hundreds of different guns that you can get in Destiny. And there's a good chance that the weapon you have is quite unique to other players. And basically, because there's different you could be different kind of races. Your Guardian is a different race, whether it's I can't think off the top of my head, but basically there's different races, and they all have different powers, and they get different kinds of weapons, and all that kind of stuff. So, and when you do missions, you get rewarded with really awesome weaponry, and it's always constantly, just about everything you do is always constantly a step up or a step forward, and you just constantly feel like you're being very productive, being rewarding. Anthem's the opposite. You feel that you get practically nothing for it. You might get a gun, and the gun will probably be weaker than the one you've got, and you start off with the stock gun for ages until you actually get a decent gun. You don't get a decent gun for a long time, and all this sort of stuff. So the amount of people I know that played it for about 5 hours, and they go, yeah, I've pretty much already finished it and just waiting for updates. And it's like, well, that's not really what you want to spend $100 game on, play for 5 hours and wait. So, and that's what they just keep copping it. They just, EA just keep doing everything wrong. So, and Ben Irving would be one of the people in the fire line when EA go, why isn't the game not doing so well? Because EA obviously won't look at themselves and go, it's our fault, not really Bioware, because they use the Frostbite engine for Anthem, and most people for Bioware are used to using Unreal 4, and so none of them really knew how to work. Knew how to work. The system. So they employed some people from Frostbite that's experienced working with Frostbite. To come and help these guys, and I couldn't imagine that going down so well. So it just ended up being worse. And so it's just a bit unfortunate. Under the pressure, he's probably just left under the pressure. This is all just claims. I don't really know any of this for real. But it just wouldn't surprise me. I mean, but then again, at the same time, he could have just left purely because he's like, what, this will do. I'm a bit over it. I'm sick of staring at the same wall for 8 years. I might as well go somewhere else. So who knows? So a bit of sad news. Out of Bioware. I just hope it's done under good terms and all that sort of stuff. But man, that is my third topic for the day.
Okay, I'll kick on. In the camp of Activision. Activision have bought us the lovely Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, which has just been killing it, with selling over 10 million units. And recently coming out with Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, which is on target to hit that as well. And Spyro the Reignited trilogy as well. that's been released, not yet to Switch, but will be by the end of the year. Activision are looking to revive more classics after the success of these games. So, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled has over 1 million players playing online. Look, they're killing it. These reprises, and Sega are doing it too. Sega just saying, "Oh, we just keep bringing back the same games, and everyone just keeps paying the money." It's working. These guys doing it differently though. These guys are actually redoing them up, graphics, the whole kit and caboodle. But during a recent earnings call, Activision CEO Robert Bobby Kotick told investors the company has a ton of IP it knows fans would love to see make a return, and even has some future announcements planned. So future announcements, there's been talk of a brand new Crash and a brand new Spyro. That would be great in itself, instead of just the reprising them. In saying that though, there's some other games that have been chucked around that could possibly make a comeback on their IP, and that's Pitfall being one of them. I didn't play much Pitfall, I'll be honest. So, another one that has been suggested is Twisted Metal.
Hey.
But one of the biggest ones that has had a circle around it for a reprise and to make it brought into the modern era is the first 4 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, no shit. So, and Time Splitters as well was another one. So there's been some circles around there on what they're going to reprise next. I mean, if they do the first 3 Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, that will go ballistic.
Yeah, man.
That would go mental. I mean, I prefer now EA Skate over Tony Hawk's. Now, don't hate me. I just love the fact that the joystick flicks the board in whatever way you make it spin. So, as opposed to Tony Hawk, where you just press a button for a kickflip, you have to actually make the board spin with the joystick. I prefer that way of playing. A lot more chances to fuck up, and the fact you can just ragdoll yourself makes it even funnier. But, it will go off if they do Tony Hawk. It just will. Along with some of those other sporting games, but no, Tony Hawk will rule it. They'll sell just as much as Crash and Spyro will do, if I'm being honest, because they've got such a cult following. Everyone's saying Modern Warfare as well, but that's already kind of been done. So what are people saying? Oh, they should do another remake of that. Why? How many Call of Duties do we have? We don't need another one.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. It's just nuts.
See, Call of Duty, I lost it when it went to Advanced Warfare. I was like, now there's all this like high-tech shit. Like, that's just lost me. Modern Warfare, I like, when you go in like the World War II kind of stuff. And that stuff was more interesting than going into futuristic. I mean, we're not Bioshock. Come on.
Yeah, that's
well,
right.
let's stick to what we know. But no, Tony Hawk's will go nuts. Tony Hawk's will go absolutely ballistic. So they're the ones that have got that highlighter pen on them at the moment. So we'll see how that comes out and about. But yeah, interesting.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, back to you.
Alrighty, so the fourth thing I want to talk about, and it's also going to roll into one of my honourable mentions as well. So you still got your honourable mentions as well, don't you, buddy?
I do, yeah.
Cool, that's alright. So I'll do my honourable mentions. I'll do my fourth topic and my honourable mentions, and you do yours, I reckon, maybe. And then we'll go into this day in gaming and the big joke. The big joke.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds alright? Alright, cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so Logitech launches a pair of impossibly thin mechanical gaming keyboards. So I thought this was really quite interesting. Because Logitech has got a pretty good name when it comes to making gaming hardware, or computer hardware, which is pretty cool. So I thought this was quite interesting. Logitech just expanded its line of peripherals with the G915 Lightspeed and G815 LightSync, a pair of mechanical gaming keyboards. A pair of mechanical gaming keyboards with low-profile keys. and ultra-thin design. So make that impossibly thin according to Logitech, though either that's hyperbolic marketing or its engineers are wizards capable of bending science and laws of physics to their will by the numbers. It's the former. So basically it measures up to be only 22 millimeters high, so that's 2.2 centimeters or 0.9 of an inch high, along with 475 millimeters or 18.7 inches long, and 150 mil or 5.9 inches wide. So so I mean, like it's definitely pretty small. So it's definitely a small thing, very thin. I mean, if you're someone with a very small desk space, this will be the thing for you. But mechanical keyboards, as we all know, keyboards can make a bit of noise, especially when you're streaming or recording. Mechanical keyboards are very commonly known to make a lot more noise than what other keyboards can do. So a lot of clicking and tapping and plucking and clucking and all that sort of stuff. So mechanical keyboards aren't for everybody, but they have the best, lowest input lag and millisecond response. So if you're that hardcore gamer, you're not too phased about the noise, then mechanical keyboards are usually the ones for you compared to membrane. So membranes are always quieter, and then but they usually have a little bit more input lag. But having said that, that being my fourth topic, I'm going to go straight into
go for it.
Best keyboards of 2019. So basically with that, I remember a couple of episodes ago I talked about the current best mouses that you can buy for your computer. So I thought I'd go with the top 10. I'm just going to be very quick and discreet with it. So number 10 is a Logitech K780. That's worth $234 Australian. It pairs to 3 devices, so it's like a Bluetooth keyboard, and you can pair it to your iPhone or Android phone, to your computer, and to something else as well. The Cradle holds smartphones and tablets, and it's a AA. It's a AA battery instead of like a rechargeable battery. So you actually have to change the batteries around. It's not rechargeable. So a little bit overpriced in my opinion, but whatever. It's people have their preferences. The DAS keyboard Prime 13. So that is worth $199 Australian. So mixing minimalist style with premium quality. So Cherry MX switches, solid minimalistic design, bit pricey. So the Unicomp Classic, number 8, 104. So it basically looks like one of the old school, keyboards that you would get back in the 90s. Looks horrible, but worth $163 in Australian. Snappy buckling, spring switch, and retro design can lead to tired fingers. Doesn't surprise me. The number 7 Leopold is the FC660. Has just enough keys to be useful apparently, but is really, really small. Compact with arrow keys, satisfying typing feel. So, which is really, really cool. Oh, it's big heavy rain outside. It's just pouring. Is it raining down your end?
It's not pouring. It's been drizzling on and off throughout the day, but not pouring. But that will probably hit us later because we'll probably cop it a bit later.
Yeah, it's bucketing outside. Microsoft number 6, Microsoft modern keyboard with fingerprint ID. That sounds really crap already. Flawless style fingerprint scanner, $159. So number 5 is a PFU Happy Hacking Professional 2. That sounds a really bad name. It's Dakota's Dream and Typist Treasure. It looks really small, which looks really compact. It's worth $361 Australian, which sounds way overpriced. So the keyboard layout is not for everybody. Don't know why, but that looks it's really horrible. Way overpriced. Number 5. There's 2 number 5s coming. Equal 5th is Logitech Craft. So weighty, solid construction, useful and unique dial. That's only $37 Australian. Massive jump in price. The Philco Majest Touch is a solid build quality compact, and it's worth $180. That's at number 4. Number 3 is the Top-Re Real Force 104 USB silent variable. So smooth typing action, very quiet, which is good for quieter Top-Re experience. But it's really overpriced, $406 Australian dollars. The Crosshair K83 wireless entertainment keyboard, It's one that's got like a little mouse dial thing on it, so feels great, sturdy and portable. There's no price that comes with it, which is quite a bit weird. But at number one is the Rocket Vulcan 120 AIMO. So it's a beautiful design, great for gaming and typing. It's worth $217. So if you're in the market for a new keyboard, that could be a good reference for you to get you started or where you want to be looking for. But I reckon do your own research to find exactly what you want. If you want something with small millisecond and it's nice and quiet, you can get decent membrane keyboards for only $100. Very little input and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people don't even notice the input lag. It also depends on the game that you're playing. But some people swear on mechanical keyboards and all that sort of stuff, mate. So, but yeah, man, that is my first of the honorable mentions. And very similar topic is my second honorable mention, is that Sony is releasing a new set of PS4 controllers that are beautiful and available for pre-order. So the new DualShock 4 controllers, they're coming soon, and you can basically get these. That they've got these really awesome sort of like unique colours. So I don't know how to explain it. They've got this really cool sort of purpley colour. They've got like this red sort of army print colour. They've got this sort of bluey turquoisey colour and like some sort of brassy pinky sort of colour. So they're worth about $140 Australian, which is again a bit overpriced a PS4 controller when you just buy an ordinary one for half the price. But if you really want that extra specky stuff when you go to your mate's place and all that sort of stuff, just so you can brag about it, hey, right, go for it. So the four colours are known as electric purple, titanium blue, rose gold, and red camouflage. So so it's it's entirely up to people if they want something extra. If they want that sort of little uniqueness to add to their gaming flair, I suppose. Then if you're one of those people that have a camera on your you get some streamers out there or some content creators out there that have a camera on their keyboard and mouse along with their face or on their controller. If you're one of those people, then this will be the kind of controller for you. But my white knight that I have is just fine for me. But man, that's my honourable mentions, buddy.
All right, sweet. Well, I only have two quick honourable mentions. And one of them is the Fresh Prince himself, Will Smith, has come out saying he's addicted to The Legend of Zelda. In 1992, in a Nintendo Power magazine, both Will and his TV partner, DJ Jazzy Jeff, were spoken about, and Will Smith said he loved The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. So Will Smith has come out saying he's still just as addicted to The Legend of Zelda now as he was back in 1992, and was talking about Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and the upcoming one. When they were asking about a movie, he had nothing to talk about the movie and just spoke about The Legend of Zelda. So shout out to Will Smith, you utter legend, mate. Good game you've chosen to like.
Yes, loves his games, Big Willie style.
Big Willie style. I don't know if that's the good the good style to have. And here's an interesting one. Talking about Legend of Zelda, the unofficial Legend of Zelda cookbook smashes its Kickstarter goal. A Legend of Zelda fan and talented cook by the name of Amy Wood, Big Woody, not Big Willie, has spent the last 2 years working on her unofficial Legend of Zelda cookbook. If you've not played Breath of the Wild, you find like berries and mushrooms, and you can kill deers to get like meat and everything like that, and you throw it in these cook pots, and it gives you like perks like more stamina or more heart, more life, or more, different things give you like regen hearts and stuff like that. But you have to cook food in Breath of the Wild. Well, she's putting these recipes together of the Hylian cuisine, which includes 120 heroic recipes, 12 courageous chapters, and a black and white interior. And here's a quote from the creator: "Explore chew jelly, reimagined as fruit jellies. Level up your cooking with salt grilling or leaf steaming, and discover the origin of each dish within the game guides. From easy comfort food like Alexa soup and vegetable risotto to powerful dishes like monster cake and rock roast. For entertainment at a party to a game night at home, the unofficial Legend of Zelda cookbook is your companion. 120 recipes also include over 80 vegan and 90 gluten-free dishes. It's an attempt at gathering every single Legend of Zelda recipe that has ever existed and bringing it all into one place to real food. So if taste testers notice that I am missing something, she will add it in. So she's saying anyone that takes donations, she's just taking donations to fund the making of it yet. She wanted to raise 3,000 USD was her goal. She's almost hit 90,000.
Wow.
So she's taking every recipe that's ever come from the Legend of Zelda universe and making it a real meal. And making it an unofficial licensed cookbook. I hope Nintendo doesn't just fuck it over at the very last hurdle. It's 2 years of work. You'd be very, very annoyed. Other than that, that is my honourable mentions for today.
Nice. I remember a lady, I don't know if it's even her, but I remember some lady did something similar with the Skyrim cookbook. So you could, she had a cookbook full of all the recipes of all the food that you could make in Skyrim. Everything from, the sweet rolls right up to, the skewer rat skewers. I don't know. So, so it was quite intriguing seeing that. So, that's pretty cool. No, that's pretty cool, man. But shall you do your This Day in Gaming?
Yes, I shall. Roll that jingle. Oh, that jingle bell rock.
I tell you.
Jingle bell rock.
I tell you, it's just insane. I think there was a herd of wild animals tapping on my window trying to get in after that one. So
yeah, I got all the animals popping boners with excitement. I don't know why I'd be proud of that.
Yes,
Just thinking about it, I don't know why I would be.
Mate, I would be, and I'm pretty proud of mine, because even though it's exactly the same as the other times, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh God. Okay, we're taken back to 1987. I was minus 2 years old. I wasn't in the womb yet. Here.
I was 3.
All right. I was still gunk in my dad's penis. All right. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. I was in the testicle, not the penis. That's why I shouldn't have said it. Anyway, going off track. 1987. The release on the NES. Welcome, Metroid.
Oh.
Metroid's first game release was today, in 1987.
Well.
32 years ago.
That is insane. 32 years. How far has gaming come since Metroid?
Oh, dude. So far. So there you go.
All right, dude.
It's a nice little one for you there.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's awesome. So of course, just like last podcast, I decided to change my "Do You Feel It All Yet" to ending with a bit of a joke. I thought just to change it up, just to see how it goes, because I like telling jokes on a good day and on a bad day, because they're funny, and I'm a very funny guy.
What about an okay day?
Well, maybe not. I usually don't worry on okay days. No. I thought because I'm a pretty funny guy, so I better. I wouldn't mind telling a joke here and there, so without everyone leaving in suspense. So this joke I actually heard literally just this week. So, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great. So, anyway, there's a horse in a barn. He's buying his own business, eating his hay and all that sort of stuff. And for some weird reason, don't ask me why, but there's a television in his barn. So of course this horse is watching this rock band play, and he's watching this lead guitar just absolutely cutting these licks. He's just pulling off these riffs. This horse is just getting right into it. This is the most amazing thing he's ever seen. He's totally inspired. He's absolutely inspired. So the horse grabs a phone and calls a music teacher, and I don't know how he done it because he's got who's, of course, and so he calls the music teacher. He goes, "Hey man, look, I really want to learn guitar." And the music teacher's like, "Yeah man, come on down, I'll teach you how to play guitar." Well, he goes, "Well, look, I'm a horse. I've got who's, because don't worry about it, mate. I teach horses how to play guitar. Do it all the time. It's all good. Come on down, mate. I'll teach you how to play guitar." And so the horse is down there, and he's learning to play guitar and all that sort of stuff. And he's in the barn one day, and he's, a few months later, he's getting really good, and he's shredding licks, and he calls over to Chicken. He's like, "Hey, Chicken, check out my guitar. Look what I can do." He's like, he's going absolutely nuts, right? He's shredding it. He's going nuts, and this Chicken's like, "Oh man, that's really awesome." He's like, "Where'd you do? What's made you want to do that?" And he's pointing to the television again. The band that's on the television. And the Chicken sees the drummer. He says, "The drummer absolutely going nuts." He's going absolutely psycho. And Chicken's like, "This is awesome. I want to do that. I want to drum." And so the Chicken picks up the phone, dials the music teacher, and he's like, Buck, I want to learn how to play drums." And I don't know how he did that because he's got wings. He can't use a phone. But anyway. So the music teacher goes, "Yeah, man, come on down. I'll teach you to play drums." "Well, I'm a chicken." So he's like, "No, it's all right, mate. I teach chickens how to play drums all the time. Don't worry about it. Come on down." A few months later, he's got his drums out. He's absolutely going nuts. He's doing some Phil Rudd thuds, and he's doing the whole John Bonham fills, and he's going nuts. And then, of course, Cow comes along, and Chicken. That's right. Chicken calls Cow, and Cow comes along, and Chicken says, "Cow, check out what I can do." And the Cow's like, "Oh, this is absolutely amazing. This is psycho. This is wicked. What made you want to start doing that?" And then again, they point to the TV. Why the TV's still in the barn, I've got no idea. Because you think after a few months, the farmer would know he's left the TV in the barn by now, wouldn't you think? So anyway, so he's noticed this band's cutting sick. Yeah, his band's going off, and the Cow's noticed the bass player. The bass player's going nuts. I don't know, bass player, going nuts, right? And the Cow's like, yeah, he's getting all funky. He's doing it's just going absolutely psycho. So the Cow's like, "Oh, I want to do that. I've got to do that." So the Cow rings up music teacher and says, "Hey man, can you teach me how to play bass?" Don't know how he did that because, cows have hooves, so he's managed to call the music teacher on his phone. So he's like, "Oh, but look, mate, I'm a cow." So "That's right, man. I teach cows how to play bass all the time. Come on down and I'll help you out."
Done.
So a few months later, they're all, the Cow, the horse, and the Chicken are all having a massive jam session in the barn. It sounds absolutely amazing. It sounds awesome. This music producer comes along and he goes, "Look, I want to sign you boys up. You guys sound insane. You sound awesome. This is great. This is brilliant." And the horse, Cow, and Chicken are like, "Yeah, absolutely, let's do it." Yeah, and they start touring. They start touring, doing gigs, and they become famous, and and they start making millions of dollars and all that sort of stuff, and all that sort of stuff. And while they're on tour, Horse gets a phone call. And only to find out bad news that his mum's really sick in hospital, and he's got to go. He's got to get to his mum real quick. So he jumps on an airplane, which I don't know how he done that because he's a horse. Horses aren't allowed on airplanes. But anyway, he jumps on an airplane, goes in hospital, and unfortunately he gets there, and of course the doctor tells him, "Look, mate, I'm really sorry you didn't make it in time, but your mother just passed away just an hour ago." And of course, Horse is really, really devastated. He just can't believe it. It's just shock. I just completely forgot about my mum, and I wish I didn't make it in time. I wish I got here to say goodbye. Blah 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 blah. And within minutes of the doctor telling him his mum's passed away, he got another phone call. Some more bad news that his bandmates were on an airplane flying to the next gig, and the airplane crashed, and his bandmates have died. And he's just realised that not only his friends have died, but his whole entire music career has just gone down the drain. He can't play in a band anymore. He's got no gig, and he's like, this is beyond bullshit. This is fucked. I'm really down. I'm really depressed. So he's decided to drink himself through his depression. He decided to drink himself stupid. Just start hitting the piss and just going nuts. So the Horse walks into a bar, and the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
You like that one?
So dumb. The dumbest jokes are the best ones, though.
Yeah,
they're the best ones.
If no one knew the origin to the Horse's why the long face joke,
now you know it.
Now you know the origin to the horse walking into the bar, why the long face.
Yeah. So, Two people are going to know it other than us.
Exactly. So that's my little joke, mate.
Yeah. And on that note,
we shall wrap this thing up, shall we?
Yeah, man. Let's go for it.
All right, cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on our latest JayNAS podcast. You are all up to date on the...
Sorry for that noise. I just accidentally ran over my toe with the chair. Sorry.
Beep, beep. Oh, shit.
I was trying to be quiet. I squashed my little toe. God damn it.
You are all up to date, all the latest in PC, console, retro, and Nintendo, and bad horse jokes and chairs running over toes. And as of course, don't forget, I will leave a description in JayNAS's channel. I'll start again. I'll leave a description in Jason616's channel to go check out his great content. And of course, as always, Jace.
Same goes. Check out NASG.
Yes, well, yes. So it's a little bit different because you might not. It looks like you might not put this up on your channel.
Yeah. Because we're putting up the same content, and I thought we may as well drive it to one place.
Yeah, that's right. But it will sort of work in that sort of triangular bond thing. It will work its way around with each other. So because people will check that sort of stuff out. So
we may as well say it, and if I use it, I use it.
Yeah, exactly.
Better to be safe than sorry.
Yes, exactly. So, but of course, we will see you all in the next JayNAS podcast. Bye.
Bye.